Athletes, Coach Blu here. Just about ready to go out and do a test run that Coach Jensen has plotted out for the No One Left Behind race coming up in June. I'm excited to try this. This is going to be a race that establishes a pair of 2 or a quad of 4, and you are only as fast as your team can go. You can't get any further away than 15 to 20 feet from each other, and you've got to finish together in order for it to be a time complete. We're gonna go out and run this and talk to you a little bit about why this race is super special and what we noticed through the years of Addict II Athlete, by which we discovered real quick that no one ever finishes alone on Team Addict II Athlete. Let's go check this out. We have started, for those of you guys that have run our Addict II Athlete 5K, same start, very different path. Let's go. So let's talk about why no one left behind. Early on Team Addict Athlete's inception, I noticed that when an athlete would cross the finish line, instinctively they'd go back and pick up the next runner, the next teammate. And this wasn't something that we told them to do. This was something that they felt inside they wanted to do. And it's kind of a pretty cool phenomenon. Again, we never told anybody to do this. Instinctively, they just wanted to. And so one time we had an athlete that was dead last. And by the time she crossed the finish line, the whole team had gone back and ran her in. So you would have never have known who was last on that race. No one left behind. It's the same thing in addiction recovery, right? It takes a team, takes a group. Connection is the cure. Naturally, we thought, let's create a race or an event that demonstrates that principle all the way through. There's a lot of times on Team Addict II Athlete that I've noticed that the reason this team really works, it's not because of the running we do or the athletics. It really is about the team. It's about the relationships. And those relationships really are genuine. That's why this run's going to be so important. It's not about time or speed. It's about connection. It's about the stories you're going to be able to tell one another. It's about getting to know someone on a deeper level. For all the people out there that have never ran with someone in recovery, maybe you're a muggle, this is a race for you because you're going to learn from one another. They'll learn from you and you'll learn from them as you guys conquer this together. It's a beautiful thing. Connection is what makes Team Addict II Athlete so solid. About making sure that you get the rocks out of your shoes. So if you get a rock in your shoe, don't ignore it. Don't try and kick it to the side. Stop and get it out. Several years ago, I was working at the Utah County Division of Substance Abuse, and I had a friend who worked over at the UA lab. His name was Al, and Al was running the Provo half marathon, and right about mile 6, he started feeling this little rock in his shoe. But it was a sharp jabbing pain. We thought, hey, I'm doing so good, I don't want to stop. I want to really kind of get this run done, making great time. So Al just kind of like pushes through it. By the time that Al finished the race, it was in excruciating pain. I mean, it was bad. It was really hard. He said every step he took was like a lightning shock of pain. And when he stopped at the end to go get his massage, it was one of the funniest things, because as he pulled his legs up on that massage table and rolled over, the massage therapist asked him how long, or if he had noticed the nail that he had picked up on the race. He had run, picked up a nail in the bottom of his shoe right in the middle of his foot, and it was just poking through enough to cause irritation, but as he took off his shoe, lots of blood. So that dude ran more than half of a half marathon with a nail in his shoe. Long story short, you don't need to be uncomfortable. You can stop and get the rock or nail out of your shoe. It's a great time to talk to you about hydration and making sure you get your salts in. Right now, Coach Blu has some wicked, and I'm talking wicked calf muscle Charlie horses. It's a lot hotter today than I thought. It's the very first day in Utah that we've had warmer temperatures. Now this is the first full week of spring. I'll show you a little bit. Every time I run, it locks up. I'll show you a little bit about what this looks like and what to do about it. Okay, when you start getting cramps, that means that you're low on electrolytes, which means you need to be doing something that's going to reintroduce some salt. So I had some cashews, had a little wafer, stinger, power disc, whatever you want to call it, and then do some stretching. Being able to sit down, take a break, and do some stretching. Doesn't guarantee that your cramps will go away, but anytime you can rest them, get some salt in, rest for a little while, the better you can be. I was able to kind of push just right up in the muscle and hold it until it releases, and that seemed to do the trick. So we'll rest a little bit longer and we'll be done with this here run. While you guys are running this race, I really want you to keep your head up. Sometimes it's easy to keep your head down, to kind of stare at the road. Pick your head up and look and bring in some of the beauty. Because there's a lot of it to drink in. One of the crazier things about this section right here is how many beer cans are being thrown out of a car window and onto the side here. It's kind of disheartening to see how many people are just drinking and throwing their cans out so nonchalantly. They're not realizing the danger in it. I mean, case in point, we're out here running, someone's inebriated, not paying attention. That's how bad things happen. So as you're going, you'll probably see a lot of the beer cans and some of the telltale signs that we still have a lot of work to do, athletes. Wrapping it up here for a test run of the No One Left Behind run. And we're gonna start way earlier because man, it's hot. So that being said, we wanna make sure that we give you guys adequate time to get started there in the morning, so you can get through the majority of it before the heat of the day kicks in. A greater idea of where we're going to put the aid stations for you and what we're going to pack them. If you guys have any special requests that you might want at the aid station, drop a comment down below. Maybe we'll take some special orders if they're not too extravagant. But yeah, it's a good track. There's some heavy parts in the middle, guys, but that's where you lean on your team for support. So I'm excited to get this thing done and to report to you guys a little bit about the nooks and the crannies of this race. And I'm looking forward to hearing all the stories you're gonna find out. So let's finish this bad boy off and do a quick recap. And we return. Okay, athletes, that concludes the test run of the No One Left Behind. For the sake of time, I cut about a mile off, and I'll be 100% transparent with you. That mile that I cut off is all uphill. So that being said, it's going to stretch you, it's going to push you. This isn't a race to see how fast you can do this. This is a race to build relationships, to strengthen your communication and your understanding, and to get to know your teammates better. I am so excited for you guys to have this experience. This is going to be fun. It's going to be the first one of its kind here in Utah. And really, you are part of a very strong team. So go have this experience together. I look forward to it. And let's get this stuff going. It's definitely going to help you build relationships and turn the mess into a powerful message.